On this assignment, you simply need to make some links on a regular doc. So in D04 in Google Classroom, you open up the file. And the first thing we want you to do is to zoom out and see that the orientation is in portrait. We need to change it to landscape back and forth. That's under File Page Setup. In File Page Setup, there's an orientation section. You just want to select landscape and hit OK. Now the page is turned sideways. The next thing we want to do is decrease the margins by half. Right now they're 1 inch all the way around. We want a 1/2 inch. So go to File Page Setup again. And one way to quickly do this is to highlight the one at top and type in 0.5. Do Command A to select everything. Command C to copy. Hit Tab. Do Command V to paste. Tab, paste, tab, paste, return. Now they're all 1/2 inch. We'll zoom in a bit here so we can see what we're typing. And type in your name and maybe the word links, something like that. Hit enter 3 times. Type in Frontier Academy. And please type in everything else that's about to show up on the screen. Okay, well, one of the things you can do, and of course we'll make all these links in a moment, is to break the document up so I can do columns down here. Let's make this a title first. Click anywhere in the first line where you have the title of this page and simply change normal text to title. That'll make that larger. One of the things you might want to look at is the invisible characters that are all here. Try this. Go to View and choose Show Non-Printing Characters. It's Command, Shift, and the letter P. And that shows you these markers right here. It's kind of interesting where you can see extra returns. So you can put some extra returns here. Okay. We want to create the second section. Put your cursor on the second line and go to Insert and choose Break. It's way towards the bottom. Under Break, you want the last one. Section break continuous, and you know you've done it right if it looks like this. The next thing we want you to do is to go to Format, and we're going to program this second section to have 3 columns. So choose that. And your cursor should have been here. It was just right after section break. And now what we can do is insert section breaks, or excuse me, column breaks. Go to the bottom here and go back to Insert and to Break again. And now you should see column break as an option. Choose it. Now you're up here. It's kicked you up here into the second column. Hit Enter a couple of times, then type in weather. Hit Enter, do sports, local news, and we can change these later. State news, national news, or world news. Let's do school closings here. Useful link. Hit Enter a bunch of times, and then insert another break, or column break, excuse me. Over here, let's do some fun stuff like YouTube. I imagine you go there sometimes. Other kids like Reddit. More still, Instagram. What else is out there? Twitter or X. And there's tons more. Snapchat. And I'll add more later. Snapchat? No, Snapchat. Okay? And again, it's Command Shift P. You can turn those off and on. All right. Frontier Academy. Let's start making some links here. So highlight Frontier Academy and do Command K. And if you go to it a lot, or if the system recognizes this website, you might see this, but it's frontieracademy.net, and that's what you would type here. But if you see this, just go ahead and select that. And you should see now this is a link to Frontier Academy. All right. So we're going to be doing this to all of these. For grades, I made a tiny URL shortcut. You certainly could go to Infinite Campus and copy the long URL, but I've already done that and I made it short. It's tiny, Tiny, URL, that's Uniform Resource Locator, that's a web address, .com / that's the question mark key, FA for Frontier Academy, -sign or dash, and then the word grade, all lowercase, no spaces, hit apply. And now if I click on this, it takes me to my grades, or at least the login to them. Glassrooms, the email drive, Google Earth, all pretty straightforward. Highlight it, Command K, it's classroom.google.com. And you'll see as you type it up, it might show up, and you can select that as well. For email, just do gmail.com. Drive.google.com. Google Earth, guess what? It's earth.google.com. All right, and so that's how we kind of progress through this. Weather, I do Weather Underground. You can use weather.com or whatever you'd like, but on Weather Underground, that's out of University of Michigan, and I go to it, it'll just take me to the national site, weatherunderground.com. But what you can do is just put in your zip code real quick and go there. And now, there we go. This should be Denver, should it? It should be 80634. 80634. That's better. Greeley. Let's go to Greeley. Welcome to the worldwide wait here. We're slow today on the internet. All right, so I've got this. This is a nice site to have. I could copy this URL way up here and use it. I tend to like to go to the 10 days, so I'm just going to save myself a step. I'm going to click on 10 day and copy that URL. I like to know what's happening in advance when I do this. So there's the URL for the 10 day. Copy it, come back here, and I can adjust this to hit the edit link and get rid of this and replace it with that. It's a little bit longer, and then when I click on it, it goes exactly where I want it to be. Sports, well, I don't know, ESPN.com. If you use a different one, just put it in there. Local news, I would tend to use Greeley Tribune. So I'll type out Greeley Tribune and Command K that. It'll probably recognize it. It's right there, GreeleyTribune.com. State news, I would do 9 News. I like that one. You could do the Denver Post for that matter. But 9 News is a friendly online site, and it'll get you what you need for the state. National news and global news, I tend to use Google News for that. And that's just news.google.com. School closings, you definitely want this one. It's out of 9 News and .com and /closings. Put an S on closings. And check that when there's bad weather, you might see who's getting canceled in the state. These go pretty quickly. YouTube, Command K, it's just right there. Reddit, same thing. It's right there. Instagram, and so on. And so this part goes pretty quickly. Let's highlight this whole thing. Probably still recognizes Twitter. Sure does. And we'll stop here at Snapchat. It's right there. So the next thing that kind of begs the question is the size of the font, the style of the font, the color of the background of the page, and you can change all that. So say I wanted a certain font, I could just highlight everything. I'll start over here at Snapchat, and I go, oh, you know what? I'm going to go with Abril Fat Face. You can certainly adjust these colors if you like. You can also change the background color. If you go to File and go back to Page Setup and say apply this to the entire document, you can change the background color. Say I chose black. Now I'm not going to see Biff's links when I hit OK. Those kind of disappear, but it's there. So if I highlight everything, I could say, oh, what if I made it all white? I can at least see everything, right? And you could certainly go, oh, okay, I want to make this row one color, this row another color, and so on. You can certainly do things like that make it easier to get where you want to be. Visual cues are always helpful. I could change the letter L color and start doing different colors here. And again, remember, there's underlying all this are section breaks and column breaks. We're going to add more to this in the future. One of the steps I did ask you to do, or will ask you to do, is to fill out a survey of giving your URL. We'll talk more about that in class, and that's how you'll end up sharing it with me. But if you got this part going, we can tackle that on a different video or just talk to me in class.